Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Lloydminster is aiming to increase the safety of its residents, unveiling a new group after changes were made to the Alberta Police Act. The Municipal Police Committee is a support group for the city with the goal of communicating between the residents' needs and the RCMP. The provincial change comes as Alberta would like more community input when addressing crime.
They felt a need to ensure that people had a voice in policing from that perspective. Now, it is again a committee that can make recommendations. At the end of the day, the RCMP in our case, as the contracted police force, has to enforce the Criminal Code of Canada, the traffic acts and other acts that they have.
Council will appoint 6 volunteers after an application process, as well as have 1 member of City Council on the committee.
The terms of reference, that was required by the province to be completed by the end of March, so we have that completed this year as per their request. So then we'll be going forward to ask for volunteers in the community. There is a process, as you heard, that they have to be vetted.
Lloydminster's newest committee will be formed later in the year. I'm now joined here with our Lane Hoffert. So Lane, I think it's pretty safe to say we've had a pretty good week of weather here.
Yeah, it's been great so far, and it's looking to be great heading into the weekend. We're having, just those nice, perfect spring temperatures, and it's not even spring yet. So I'm hoping that there's plenty more of this to offer. We're just right in the, just right in the pluses. It's not too warm and it's not too cold. It's just a nice, happy medium. The only thing you got to worry about is maybe wet socks if you accidentally step in a puddle, and I guess these potholes, of course, like they were just talking about. But yeah, right now here in Lloyd, +5. Of course, we have that classic wind, 32 kilometers an hour, but it's only making it feel like 0, so still quite a beautiful day. The sun is out with just a few clouds kind of poking through here and there. Overall, a beautiful but a little bit of a windy day here in the windy border city of Lloydminster. You can see it's nice all over Alberta and Bonnyville and St. Paul. It's 7 degrees. Lac La Biche is 8, Edmonton 9, Vegreville and Marwayne 5 degrees, as well as Wainwright and Provost down there. And Vermilion is at a nice 6 degrees. Over in Saskatchewan, a little bit cooler up in Isle La Crosse at +1, but Pierceland and Meadow Lake are at 7. Green Lake, St. Walburg, and Maidstone, as well as North Battleford, are at 6, and Macklin is at a nice +5. Now tonight, North Battleford, it's going to drop down to -3. Strong winds, 33 kilometers an hour, so similar to what we're experiencing right now in Lloydminster, and it's going to be a partially cloudy night out there in North Battleford. Now tomorrow, a little bit of snow in the morning, but the high will be at +1, and that wind is going to be dying down a little bit from tonight. It's going to go from 33 just down to 24, so still quite windy, but we've definitely had worse out in Saskatchewan. Now tonight in Cold Lake, it's going to be -3, breezy in the evening, and then a few clouds here and there. Not quite as windy as in North Battleford. The wind's only going to be at 17 kilometers an hour, so about half as windy in Cold Lake tonight than in North Battleford. Now tomorrow, Cold Lake, it's a beautiful day, +4, mostly cloudy, and that wind is going to die down to a measly 7 kilometers an hour, so quite different than what we're seeing in Saskatchewan. Now in Lloydminster, strong winds tonight, -2, partly cloudy, so that wind is going to stay through the whole night. Same with those clouds, but the temperature's only going to drop by a few degrees, just down to -2, so it still should be a pretty beautiful night compared to what we've had. Now taking a look at tomorrow's forecast at 6 a.m., it'll be mostly clear and -1, and then at noon it's going to be cloudy at +2, and then those clouds are going to die down a little bit at 6 p.m. It'll just be mostly cloudy, and that temperature is going to stay relatively the same, just at +1. And then at midnight, the clouds are going to still be at about the same level, and it's going to be -4 tonight, tomorrow night at midnight in Lloydminster. Now let's take a look at your 3-day forecast. You can see we've got a beautiful weekend up ahead. Friday, it'll be breezy in the morning with a high of +3. Saturday, cloudy with a high of +3, and Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high of +4. That is your first look at our evening weather. We'll be back with more news after the break.
A new centrist political party has formed in Canada. Arlene Hoffert has more on the Canadian Future Party with a founding member from Lloydminster.
I'm joined here today with Daryl Patton of the Canadian Future Party. So Daryl, why don't you just tell me, for those who don't know, what the Canadian Future Party is and what they support?
Well, we're growing. We're very new. I don't even think we've been official for a full 7 months yet, but we are a truly centrist party. The founding members, including myself, we found that there's an appetite in Canada for a purely centrist party. Too many people are leaning too far left or too far right, and it's become visible in governance. And you know, for myself, I no longer felt like I had a party to I don't know what we would say, have faith in. So during the early months of 2022, I just happened to see an article or a tweet about center-ice Canadians and disgruntled center to right conservatives that were no longer happy with where the party was going after the Pierre was made the new leader. Some of the things that they were saying and doing, I was a voting member of the Conservative Party. I mean, it's one of those things where it's easy to do there. And I just could no longer stand with what the party was standing for. So ever so slowly, we got enough people that it was decided to have a larger conversation. The party, or the focus group, became called Center Ice Canadians instead of Conservatives, because we found that there was NDP, there was Liberals, there was provincial, there was federal politicians and members that worked in government that all felt the same way. It's like, if you've read in the news, the pollsters polled, and 40% of Canadians feel like they do not have a political home anymore. The old adage of plugging your nose and marking an X is quite visible when you finally can get people to admit that that's what they do. Sadly, that's what I did in the last federal election. I wasn't overly pleased. I had voted 3 times in leadership races, and the person that I wanted never got in. So, yeah, I mean, I don't speak for everybody, but a lot of the people I have spoken to, and even here in the prairies, it's more prevalent than you think.
So there could be an election at any time now. What's the Canadian Future Party's plans for this upcoming election?
Well, I mean, last night we just had our last our Zoom conference with our leader, and anybody can actually see any of the Zoom conferences we have. They're all available on YouTube under the party's name. Dominic says, well, of course we would hope to win seats. That's the whole point of being an election. We would prefer an October election. At least that way we'd be a year old. We'd be a little bit more polished. Me, for instance, I've never had a second of political in my entire life. I mean, my father had 40 years of civic politics, but Dominic, for myself and everybody else, we're kind of hoping that Dominic at least gets in, hit the 2% threshold so that, you know, we become a voice within the House of Commons. Might not have a seat, but if we get 2%, then we become part of the procedure. We can be in discussions on television, stuff like that. Until you hit that bar, it's difficult. So me personally, I just want to be able to become a candidate. I want to be able to, you know, kind of shake things up in the prairies of Canada. I want people to know that, you know, there's room for more parties in this country. There is, because as we get bigger and we have more people, I like that model of governance better, where people have more choice. Can you imagine go to a car lot and you got 2 choices? Oh, you get a car, you get a truck. Oh, one's white, one's black. No, I don't like that kind of governance. So, I mean, yeah, we want to try and to win a few seats and surprise a few people. I mean, Dominic always says, sure be great to get a mandate, but if not in this election, hopefully the next.
All right, and what is the message that you want to leave voters with?
Well, absolutely. So I would, if I was to become a candidate, I would represent Lloydminster Battleford on the Saskatchewan side. So I want young people to realize that you don't have to be idle in politics. If you don't like the one side, I don't want to upset people, and you're not sure about joining what everybody in Ontario votes for. There are alternatives. Go to our website. It's the CanadianFutureParty.ca. Look at our framework that we have and realize that you don't have to vote the ways that you've always heard of people voting in the past. Canada is ripe for new choices, and that time is now. And not just because of politics in general, but because of the world scope that we're in. We have ideas for our platform that now all the other parties are just jumping on, because they realize, oh, we have to change this. Well, it was always in our portfolio, or whatever you want to call it. We were voting on things in Ottawa that now all of a sudden are important to the other parties. So please consider an alternative. That's all I ask. I don't expect to possibly win. I'm up against some pretty big shoes, but as a regular Joe, I'm a fourth generation Bar colonist. I'm a fourth generation Ukrainian immigrant by heritage. A lot of us have just done things for generations because that was what you do. Take the time, read, research, follow us on Twitter or X, and seriously think about the alternatives. That's all I can ask. It's converted our family. We're now a Canadian Future Party household, and we were all conservatives at one point. So that's got to tell you something.
Those are all the questions I have for you today, Daryl. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Now here are your closing market numbers for today. Webb's Machinery has 6 dealerships across the Lakeland area and have been recognized for their service. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
New Holland North America honored all 6 of Webb's Machinery dealerships with the 2024 Blue Star Dealer Standards Award, which the company was very proud to win once again.
Any New Holland dealership doing their due diligence and making sure that dealer standards are met, and which the standards would be in parts, service, sales, precision farming, and in having your buildings kept up well, making sure that you have your market share covered. So there are a lot of factors that go into play on receiving the award. This will be the 2nd year in a row that we've received this award.
It's rare for every dealership under a company to win the Blue Star Award, and Webb says that the outstanding work that all of their staff does is why they get recognized.
In all 6 locations, they go to work every day and they have positive attitudes and they work their tails off, and we wouldn't be here without our staff. The detail that goes into receiving the Blue Star Award is incredible, and starting from parts, service, sales, admin, everyone's in it and all together, and they just work incredibly hard, and we wouldn't be here without our staff.
Webb's Machinery, of course, plans to complete the three-peat for the Blue Star Award this coming year, and will have to work with some new criteria for 2025.
In 2025, there are a few changes to the dealer standards. For the most part, the rules have stayed the same, so as long as we stay the course and stay consistent and communicate with our staff on what we need to do, and hopefully in 2025 we'll have another Blue Star Award.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.
Now here are your agriculture prices for today.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
The Mystic Moonlight Market and Psychic Fair is set to illuminate Lloydminster's spiritual scene this spring. Our Astarte Lazo has more with the organizers of the market.
Today I'm joined by Tammy, Hope Gray, and Kevin Jackson, who are the organizers of the Mystic Moonlight Market that's happening here in Lloydminster on April 11th to 12th at the Border Inn Suites. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for inviting us to chat with you.
So my first question would be, guys, can you tell me more about the Mystic Moonlight Market itself and what kind of vendors should people expect?
The Mystic Moonlight Market and Psychic Fair is all things metaphysical. We have intuitive readers, energy healers, artisans that come in like of all kinds. There will be spiritual practitioners come in, and all kinds of psychic readers and tarot card readers. There will be what do you call it? Aura photography. I can't remember the exact name of it, but they'll be there, and someone with the flutes, a lady playing flutes and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting to see, and it's bigger than last time. We've expanded it. Yeah. You have anything to add, Tommy?
Yeah, no, you pretty much covered it all. There's going to be a lot of crystals, spirituality. It's more about community and connection, and we get together, and it's just about the whole event is about connection and community. And yeah, like Kevin said, we have more people joining us as vendors. We have about 34 vendors attending. So people can expect a wide range of products and services that focus around health and wellness, and of course spirituality. And then there's some fun. We have lots of music and a witches dance and a full moon circle is another aspect of our market as well as workshops.
What inspired you guys to organize an event like this?
There's
a few things.
Nobody really doing them of any size. So that was, we really, we wanted to bring an aspect of community back into Lloydminster with metaphysical fields, and start expanding that whole area of healing within Lloydminster. And so that was kind of the motivating factor of doing it. And then we love people, we love joining people together and connecting people, and yeah, that was kind of the motivating.
Yeah, and it was time. During this, in this world, it's very turmoil and separation, and everybody's about, you're either one side or the other, and it's time to come together under an umbrella. If you're just looking to, expand your spirituality or just connect with like-minded people that understand that love is the answer to all questions and all problems, and we're trying to build that community. So, like every market, it gets bigger and bigger as we get people understand what we're doing, and it's a great community. It's great to explore, especially if you have questions. If you're new to that or anything like that, it's wonderful.
That sounds wonderful. And you said that it grows every year. So how often do you guys hold this, and how long has this been going on?
I did make it sound like we've been doing it for a hot minute, but actually this is only our third market. This is actually our third market. For years before COVID and whatnot, we did participate in planning markets and stuff like that. So now we're back into it again. So the Mystic Moonlight Market and Psychic Fair is our third event. And we do 2 a year. We're looking at doing a third based on the feedback, because we're always looking for feedback, and we take it very seriously when we get it. So yeah, it's going to be this April 11th and 12th at the Border Inn and Suites. On Friday, we're running from 1 till 9 p.m. Right after we close the market, we'll be doing a full moon circle. Throughout the day, when you come when you come to visit us, we encourage you to put a full moon intention into our cauldron, and then we'll do a circle, we'll close it, and then we take it off site, of course, to a safe environment and do a burn. It's really fun, and everybody can participate. And then we do a witch's dance, which is just a dance of celebration and connection. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like a very exciting event. Again, thank you guys for doing the interview with me, and I look forward to the event. It sounds very fun, and it will be from April 11th to April 12th, if I'm not mistaken.
1 to 9 on Friday and 10 to 5 on Saturday.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, you guys. Have an amazing day.
And now let's take a look at your friendly pets with our Pets of the Day.
Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
The Border City Rotary Club is putting on an Irish pub night coming up on March 15th. Our Randy Cormish got the chance to speak with a Rotary Club member to learn more about the event.
Today, I'm joined by Jackie Tomeyer, who is a Border City Rotary Club member, and they're putting on an Irish pub night that's coming up. So today we're just going to be talking about the pub night and how that's all going to work. So thank you so much for joining me today, Jackie. Would you be able to just tell me a bit about the Irish pub night and what everyone should expect?
Our Irish pub night is our biggest fundraiser of the year that we do. And it is just a night to have a party. We hire a great band. We have great games, entertainment, and some midnight snacks. And we just want to bring our community together to celebrate, the Irish spirit and raise some funds for some local initiatives.
Yeah, and how can people get the tickets, or are you able to get them at the door, or how does that work?
Yeah, so right now they're available online. You can go to our Facebook page to find a link to that. $25, which we think is a really reasonable price to just have a party and see a live band. They will be available at the door if we don't sell out at that same $25 price.
Oh, okay. And is this an annual thing, or this isn't your first year doing this, right? Like this is definitely annual.
Yeah, this has been annual for a number of years. We have had some trouble getting the commitment we need to make it go, but we're hoping that this year is going to be a rebound year where we're going to see great numbers and a good party. We moved to a little bit of a smaller venue here at the Lloydminster Exhibition, so we're just trying to pack the room. We hired a great band from Edmonton, but they do have a local tie in Derek Vokins. He is in this band, Five on the Side, and they're just the greatest party band ever. They're gonna put on such a great show, and we've been looking to get them for a few years now, so we're excited it's happening this year.
Yeah, awesome. And is that the only kind of entertainment you guys are going to be having, or is there other stuff going on?
We'll have some games, and then in between the sets of the band, we'll have Mads Entertainment there, DJing and putting on a good show as well. But yeah, we have lots of our volunteers are going to be there, playing some games. We have some green beads, we have some beer steins, like just fun stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has the turnout of this event been like in previous years? Like, do lots of people obviously show up?
Yeah, the biggest one that I remember, I believe, was around 21 and or 22, and we just filled the WS Convention Center with, I think there's 450 people. It was a massive party. We had a great band that year. So we're just trying to get back to those. But this new facility we're in holds around 300, so we're about halfway sold, and we expect that we'll sell a lot over this next coming week.
Yeah, absolutely. And what day is the event on, and what time do people usually start showing up on?
Yeah, March 15th, so it's a Saturday night, and doors open at 7. So our volunteers will be in there all day, working, decorating, getting ready, and then we'll open the doors at 7 and welcome everyone in.
Awesome. And then what kind of food will you guys be serving? So you have the late night snacks, and is there dinner?
No dinner. It's just $25. That doesn't include a dinner, but it does include, we will have in the evening, kind of a hot dog smoky bar, cheese and onions and sauerkraut and that sort of things, for people to have.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, is there just anything else you wanted to add just for people to know ahead of time?
No, we are just excited about the band and excited about the party, and funds that we raise through fundraisers like this go to help the youth in our community. We support different initiatives as they kind of come up. We don't have this money earmarked, but we definitely focus on youth. So any money raised will stay in our club, and we'll be able to support future activities, projects, scholarships, those types of things.
Awesome. Yeah, well, that's all the questions I have for you today, Jackie. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this, and I look forward to hearing how the Irish Pub Night turns out.
Thanks, Randy. Nice to meet you.
Coming up after the break, Arlene Hoffert will give us an extended look at the weather.
Welcome back. Here's one last look at your evening weather. Right now in Lloydminster, it's +4. That wind still blowing quite strong at 30 kilometers an hour. That's making it feel closer to -1. But still, it's been a beautiful week we've had so far, and today is no exception. The sun is out with a few clouds darting in here and there, and the same can be said for all around central Alberta. It's looking beautiful all over. Cold Lake and Edson are at +8, Rocky Mountain House +11, Jasper 10, Red Deer 7, Athabasca, Whitecourt, and Edmonton are all at 9. Over in Saskatchewan, once again, just a beautiful day everywhere. Melfort and Saskatoon are at 3, Prince Albert 5, Meadow Lake 7, and North Battleford 6. Up north, it's a little bit cooler in Uranium City, -12, -15 in Stony Rapids and South End Reindeer. Wollaston Lake is at -17, Flin Flon at -14, and La Loche and Buffalo Narrows are at +2. Fort Chipewyan is at -13, High Level -7, Fort McMurray -1, Peace River +7, Slave Lake +8, and Grand Prairie +5. Down in southern Alberta, it's beautiful. In Coronation +4, Banff +7, Calgary, Medicine Hat, and Lethbridge are at +14, so quite a beautiful day down there. In Kindersley, Yorkton, Regina, and Estevan, it's +4, and in Swift Current and Moose Jaw, it is +5. So just a beautiful day across the prairies. And as we go into tonight in Lloydminster, it's only going to get down to -2, so quite a nice night. It's going to be rather windy at 33 kilometers an hour, and those clouds will be pretty prominent. But you know what? We'll take it with what we've previously had last week. Now we'll take a look at your evening travel forecast. In Meadow Lake, it's -3 tonight. Bonnyville -1, Provost -2. Isle Cross, the coldest of the bunch, at -13. There's going to be a flurry, and it'll be breezy in the evening. And then Paradise Hill is mainly clear at -4. Now taking a look at some more temperatures throughout the region. In Murnum, -1, Pierceland -3, Unity and Wainwright are at -2, and Calgary is at 0 and partly cloudy. Now let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. You can see we have quite a beautiful week ahead. We're going to be continuing with this great kind of spring weather as we head into March. Friday will be breezy in the morning with a high of +3 and a low of -5. Saturday, cloudy with that high of +3 and low of -5 as well. So just those clouds will be picking up will be the only difference between tomorrow and Saturday. And then on Sunday, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of +4 and that low at -3. Monday will be a cloudier day with a high of +1. That low will be only -6. And then Tuesday, those clouds are going to die down a little bit, and the high will be at 0. That's going to be the same for Wednesday with the clouds dying down even more. And then next Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high of +2. So a beautiful week ahead in Lloydminster, and it's looking like springtime might be here. Fingers crossed. I mean, there's still a bit of March left to go before we can fully say we're in the clear, but it's looking good so far.
Yeah, just kind of all of a sudden we've hit this really warm period where we feel like we're in spring, but you never know when that winter's going to come back.
That's right.
Awesome, yeah, but hopefully that stays. And that is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.